Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I, 20 male, came from a family where my older sister, 26 female, has always been the golden child. Growing up, my parents lavished her with attention, praise, and financial support. I never begrudged her that, but it became increasingly clear that they had different expectations for us. While I was encouraged to be self-reliant and hardworking for everything, my sister was coddled and catered to. 2 years ago, my sister had what she called a brilliant business idea. She wanted to open a boutique bakery, despite having no business experience and minimal baking skills. My parents, who have always indulged her whims, took out a second mortgage on our family home to help her get started. I was skeptical, but I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to seem unsupportive. Unsurprisingly, the business struggled from the start. My sister didn't put in the necessary work, often leaving the bakery in the hands of inexperienced employees while she attended social events or took trips. She ignored advice from anyone who tried to help, including our parents, who began to see their investment crumbling. Fast forward to 6 months ago, and the bakery officially went under. My sister was devastated, but she quickly moved on to other interests, leaving my parents to deal with the fallout. The financial strain was immense. The second mortgage was a significant burden, but my parents, desperate to help her out of a sense of duty or denial, took out a third mortgage to try and cover some of the debts. Now, here's where I come in. I'm currently in college, working part-time to cover some of my expenses. My education means everything to me. It's my ticket to a better future. Recently, my parents sat me down and asked if I could take a break from college and get a full-time job to help them pay off the debt. They argued that since they helped me with tuition, it's only fair that I help them out in return. They also suggested that I could return to college once things were more stable. I was stunned. Not only did I feel like they were punishing me for my sister's failures, but I also knew that quitting college would derail my plans and possibly ruin my chances of graduating on time, if at all. I tried to reason with them, suggesting alternative solutions like my sister getting a job to help pay off her own debts, but they wouldn't hear it. They said she was too fragile after the business failure and needed time to recover. I refused their request, and now things are incredibly tense at home. My parents are barely speaking to me, and my sister, while not directly involved, hasn't said anything to support me either. They've made me feel guilty for wanting to prioritize my education, and I'm beginning to question if I'm being selfish. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for refusing to quit college to help my parents pay off my sister's failed business debt? Well, OP's parents made a series of poor financial decisions to support sister's dream without considering the risks. It's unfair and unreasonable for them to expect OP to sacrifice his future because of their mistakes. Education is a long-term investment that will benefit OP, and potentially them, far more than temporarily bailing them out. OP's sister can get a job to pay back some of what she owes. OP needs to stand his ground. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Not the a-hole. You are not responsible for your sister's failure or your parents' decisions. They chose to take on this debt, and it's up to them to find a way out of it. Asking you to quit college is not a fair solution and would likely set you back significantly. It might be worth having a serious discussion with your parents about realistic alternatives, but do not give up on your education for this. Not the a-hole. This is a classic case of favoritism gone wrong. Your parents are showing blatant favoritism towards your sister by shielding her from the consequences of her actions while expecting you to bear the burden. It's time they realize that they can't keep bailing her out at the expense of your future. Maybe a financial advisor or family counselor could help them see reason. Not the a-hole. Your parents are in a tough spot, but that doesn't justify their request. Your education is your priority, and interrupting it could have long-term negative consequences for you. They need to find other ways to address the debt, which should include your sister stepping up and taking responsibility. It's unfair for them to protect her from reality while asking you to put your life on hold. Update. After reading through your comments and taking some time to think, I decided to have another conversation with my parents. I wanted to approach it calmly and present a well-thought-out argument. I emphasized how important my education is to my future and how quitting college could have long-term negative impacts on my career prospects and financial stability. I also brought up the fact that I've worked hard to maintain my grades and a part-time job while studying, and that it wouldn't be fair to throw that away. I suggested several alternatives: cutting back on non-essential expenses, seeking advice from a financial planner, and most importantly, having my sister contribute to repaying the debt. I pointed out that while she might be feeling down, she needs to take responsibility for her actions and the financial strain they've caused. The conversation didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. My parents were resistant at first, especially my mom, who seemed to be in denial about the whole situation. However, after a lot of back and forth, my dad started to see some sense in what I was saying. He admitted that they'd been too lenient with my sister and that it wasn't fair to put this burden on me. My mom eventually came around, albeit reluctantly. We agreed that my sister needs to step up and find a job to help pay off the debt. They also agreed to consult with a financial advisor to come up with a more sustainable plan. When we told her about the new plan, she was upset and accused me of not caring about the family, not being man enough to support his fragile sister when she was down. It was hard to hear, but I stood my ground. I explained that this isn't about me not caring. It's about fairness and responsibility. She's been given many chances and support, and now it's time for her to take responsibility. The situation at home is still tense, but there's a plan in place now. I'm continuing with my studies and my part-time job, and my parents are looking into financial counseling. My sister is reluctantly job hunting. It's not an ideal situation, but I'm hopeful that with time, things will improve. I'm a professional photographer, mostly industrial photography for businesses and such. I do other types for myself and as art. I love taking pictures of the old architecture in my city and of the surprising wildlife in it. My mom asked if I would be willing to take pictures for my stepsister's wedding to help them save money. She asked me to do it as a gift. She knows that Tina hates me, and I pretty much reciprocate. I decided to be the bigger person and agreed. I was there for the makeup and the wedding party getting dressed. I took a ton of pictures at the wedding. I prepared a checklist of all the different formals she wanted and made sure I got them all. I did my absolute best. When I got to the reception, there was no place for me to sit. I had gotten there right away so I could get pictures of the wedding party arriving and all that. The wedding party had stopped to use the bathroom and get freshened up. I called my mom to find out where I was meant to sit and eat and stuff. She talked to Tina and called me back. She was upset, and I could tell. She said that Tina thought since I was working and not a guest, she didn't have to have a seat and food for me. I thanked my mom for the information and left. I took my boyfriend, who was my assistant that day, and we went out for dinner, my treat. We had been on the go for 8 hours by then. I turned off my phone. We had a nice night out, and we saw the new Mad Max movie. Sunday morning, I turned on my phone. It was full of messages asking where I went, then demanding I come take pictures, then cursing me out. I called my mom to see what was up. She said that Tina was very upset that I left and that all her reception pictures were going to be from cell phone cameras. She said I should have just gone to get a quick bite at McDonald's and then come back. I told her that I felt terrible and would of course give a full refund. I also said that this was the last straw and that I did not want to hear crap when I did not invite Tina to my wedding next year. Tina obviously thinks I'm an a-hole, and my mom thinks I should have kept the peace. I'm just going to drop off a thumb drive with all the pictures and wash my hands of this. No editing, no nothing. Wedding photographers are damn expensive, and OP was making a massive favor for her sister, especially doing this for someone who doesn't like her. OP's mother is delusional, as a wedding gift means you are also a guest, or at least get treated with a meal and drinks. Since Tina thought OP was working, OP should send her an invoice if she wants any pictures. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Not the a-hole. My girlfriend does wedding photos. I'm often along as her helper. Even when we aren't related to the bride and groom, we always get fed. We are usually at a back table away from everyone, which is fine since we have a big bag of stuff to keep away from kids. Your stepsister is the a-hole. She played a dumb game and got the prize she deserved. Your mom is a little as well. I know how much my girlfriend charges for a wedding. You gave a very expensive gift to someone you do not like. I did enjoy that you offered a full refund. Not the a-hole. OP, you should have gone completely no contact with Tina a long time ago if you don't have any type of relationship with her. Considering that Tina didn't even consider her own sister a guest and treated you like a temp employee, you have every right to walk out of this wedding. From here on, do not include Tina in your life ever again. Not the a-hole. I used to do wedding catering and have never heard of a photographer not getting a seat somewhere or not being fed. It's rude and a slimy thing to do when someone is working for you for an entire evening without eating and nowhere to sit. Nope. I say not the a-hole. I, 45 male, have a son, Logan, 21 male, and daughter, Emily, 22 female. My ex consistently fought for custody, and she won. Logan and I were very close, but Emily wanted nothing to do with me. I did purchase Logan and Emily their first car when they turned 18. Logan still drives the car today. Emily ended up selling the car after a year and used the money for college. My ex passed away last year and Logan moved in with me. Emily moved in with her current boyfriend and has been firm on not wanting me in her life. Her boyfriend got into an accident recently and Emily reached out to me asking if I could help her with purchasing a car. I did some research and sent her some cars that were for sale and decently priced. She reached back out saying that she wanted a brand new Tesla. I looked at the Tesla pricing and the model was over the amount I wanted to spend. I told her that I could not help with purchasing the Tesla, and she got angry, saying that her boyfriend wanted the car and she didn't have the money. I again told her that I would be willing to help her purchase another car that was in the budget. She went back to not contacting me. Am I the a-hole for not buying my daughter's boyfriend a car? This is really your question? You owe neither her nor her boyfriend, especially not her boyfriend, a car. You did it once, and she made her, perfectly reasonable, honestly, choices. You don't exist just to be her Miss Moneypenny. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Tell Emily she can buy her own car. She only called you when she needed something. She's selfish and doesn't care about you. Not the a-hole. Why is it your responsibility to buy a car for her boyfriend, a human being not even related to you, and dating someone who doesn't even speak to you? Even if it's not a brand new Tesla, you shouldn't spend a dime on him. Even if the car is for her, you still don't have to purchase it for her. And she should be grateful for anything that you're willing to gift her. Also, she made it clear that she doesn't want you in her life. I'm sure you think doing this would help crack the door open to her life and have a relationship with her. But you really need to put your foot down and tell her this or nothing. She will grow up. Due to virus-related issues, I, 25 female, had to stay at my sister's house for 3 weeks. My sister, 35 female, works in an essential field and hence had to go to work every day, while her husband, 32 male, mostly worked from home, but had to go to his office 2 or 3 times a week. Because their hours were so difficult to manage and work around, my sister hired a babysitter to look after their 6-year-old daughter. This babysitter, 24 female, stayed at their house in a guest bedroom and also did other things for the family. Take care of their dog, including taking her on walks, helping my niece with her schoolwork, occasionally taking care of their garden, etc. It's only when I went to their house to stay, last month, that I realized the true extent of their situation. The babysitter was extremely attractive, and she wore skimpy clothing. She seemed to be in competition with Tesla's short shorts. She literally wore camis or thin tank tops half the time, and she cited Los Angeles' weather as the reason why. When I asked her about it, she also said, "This is how people in Los Angeles dress," and basically called me ignorant. I tried to warn my sister about this situation, about how she was leaving her husband at home with such a woman for extended periods of time. Anyone would be tempted. Her husband has been unfaithful to her in the past. All the more reason to be extra cautious, right? I also asked her what kind of an example her babysitter was setting for her young daughter. I think I might be the a-hole because my sister got so upset with me and literally blew up in my face. She said that she trusted her husband completely and that they had gone to therapy together and worked out their issues. She also said that I was wrong for questioning the girl's character and for asking what kind of example her babysitter was setting. She basically called me sexist. She also accused me of lashing out because I was never considered popular or attractive in high school or college with boys, so I had become resentful. She has to be an a-hole for that, right? When I told my boyfriend about this, he joked, "I didn't know I was dating a misogynist." I think the only reason I wasn't kicked out of the house was because of last-minute intervention from my dad. He also seemed to take my sister's side, however. My relationship with my entire family now seems acrimonious. Am I the a-hole here? Yes, the a-hole. First of all, can we all please stop reducing men to useless S-crazed lumps with no control over their pee? Because I think that trend is getting old. That said, the way a woman dresses is her choice, period. You don't get to question her about it. Furthermore, your sister's marriage and trust issues with her husband aren't any of your business either, period. Yes, the a-hole. You really do seem sexist. She's of questionable character because of how she dresses, and men can't be trusted around attractive women? Come on, OP. Also, if she's staying in your sister's house, do you just think she's blind and doesn't see this girl? Or is she too stupid to see the threat you seem to? It's got to be one or the other if you felt like you needed to warn her to be wary. Not the a-hole. I would be worried too if I were in your shoes, especially if they had issues before. You were right to voice your concerns to your sister. Also, you're not sexist, just a very concerned brother. I think that she is scared to even think of that you might be right. But the thought of enduring the pain of being cheated on again and possibly losing her family is not something she wants to think about, and this is why she lashed out at you. That being said, I hope, for her sake, that you're wrong.